It's coffee break.
We're here.
This episode's a little late.
A little bit.
We tried to record this episode yesterday in a different style, and yeah, I just didn't have the energy for it.
Well, that's okay. You gotta try something out before you realize it's not what you want it to be.
Yep. Tried to break away from this format, and it became a lot harder.
Yeah. So sometimes just talking can be difficult, especially once a mic is in front of you. Suddenly your brain just goes flat.
Yeah. Which was interesting because one of the things we were talking about was the new Guardians movie.
Yes.
And I've talked very extensively about it outside of this podcast. And when it came to time to actually talking about it, I couldn't come up with anything because I was like, I feel like I've already said it all.
Yeah. That's why I always write scripts for like my videos and stuff. Sometimes I do unscripted things, but if I can, I would prefer to write a script because otherwise my brain just goes like everywhere. And I end up cutting a lot of audio out if I don't script something.
Yeah, so when in doubt, script it out.
Yeah. This is also one of the few moments where we're both drinking coffee on coffee break.
I know, because it's early in the morning.
Real coffee stuff.
Okay,
Yum.
We're going to kick it off this time with Crunch Time.
Woo!
It's about Skittles.
Yeah. So, okay, before we dive into the facts of Skittles, what is your general opinion of Skittles?
So yesterday, like I said, we're re-recording this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this much about Skittles.
Yeah.
I said I like sour Skittles,
Uh-huh.
but now I'm just craving to go to the store and just get Skittles.
Just regular Skittles.
So I'm like, it's time to start trying some of these things.
They're nice, fruity, you know?
Yep.
Not as, like, stick to your teeth as, like, Starbursts are.
Yep.
I like them. I always prefer them.
They're opal fruits.
They are opal fruits. We learned that last time. No, I always preferred Skittles over M&Ms because I grew a disdain for chocolate early on.
Yes. And Skittles and M&Ms are made by the same manufacturer. Wrigley Company, which is a division of Mars. Mars makes M&Ms.
Yep.
Wrigley does all the non-chocolate stuff like Starburst and Skittles.
Yep.
We said that last week.
Yeah.
There's more information about Skittles than I thought. We understand that they're hard-shelled candies with the letter S on them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's to mimic the M&M,
Mm-hmm.
who has the M&M on it. And they come in an assortment of varieties. Just to name off a few: tropical, wild berry, bright side, dessert, sweet heat, smoothie, and sour.
Lots of different flavors in there.
we looked up almost all Skittle flavors.
There's so many.
It's not worth going through.
It's not. And they're all, the weirdest thing is so many of them are like the same colors as each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like, to some degree I get it, but a lot of others it's just like, if I hand you a pink Skittle, it's like, it could be 7 different flavors. You don't know.
Typically, though, the pink Skittle will be strawberry.
Yeah. Every time, okay, I used pink as the example because every time we looked at a pink Skittle flavor, I'm like, that sounds like the best one.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to tell you the original, and the way this works with Skittles, I guess, because, why did I put it there? Skittles are made in Britain.
Yeah.
They're a British invention. They were imported to the United States. There's all the information I needed. They were commercially made in 1947 by a British company known as Galaxy, which is an old subsidiary of Mars.
Galaxy?
Yeah.
A lot of space thing. Mars, Galaxy,
Yeah.
Starbursts.
They came to the North Americas in 1979 as an imported confectionery.
Mm-hmm.
Confectionery meaning candy.
Yes.
In 1982, domestic production of Skittles began in the United States. So here's how this works with Skittle flavors, is that we learned it's European in Australia.
Yeah.
So everybody else, goodbye. And then there's everybody else.
Yeah. I don't know why Europe and Australia get like the exclusionary.
Yeah, and there are slight differences between the two packagings.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things is I noticed their purple Skittle is most often blackcurrant.
Yeah.
Which also worked with...
that was a Starburst thing too,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Well, ours is grape.
And our purple is usually grape instead.
Yes.
So blackcurrant, we talked about it last time.
It's a berry.
Is it like licorice? That sounds like a licorice thing. It doesn't...
I'm gonna use my computer here.
Type. Gotta figure out how to spell it. Yeah, that's what they look like. Yeah. Like weird blueberries.
Yeah, they're tiny.
That first ask, does blackcurrant taste like blueberries?
Well, no, I'm reading... Oh, no, I thought it said elderberry.
Elderberry would be gross in a Skittle flavor.
Northern Europe and Northern Asia. Yeah, if I remember that. Fertile soil. But that's how anything grows. Come on, guys.
I know, right? Sometimes I feel like people add things to Wikipedia, and it's just like, you didn't need to.
Oh, they taste like grapes, but more acidic with hints of cherry.
That sounds awful. What?
That actually sounds really good.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not a huge grape or cherry fan anymore.
Yeah, so everything else seemed to be the same between the two. How red is strawberry, orange is orange, lemon is yellow, and lime is green. There was an exception to it that in the international versions, the green used to be green apple.
Yeah, which I think is just a generally better flavor for green candies. Because lime and lemon are so similar to each other, especially in candy form, you know?
Yep.
Just one is slightly more sour.
They taste different.
Yeah, but green apple really tastes different.
Because it's not as... Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Get some variety up in here.
If you guys want to know all those other flavors, go look it up. It gets crazy.
There's so many. The dessert one is bananas. Like, it's...
No, it's banana berry.
Yeah, there's like parfait is one of their flavors or something.
There was a chocolate one.
Mm-hmm. That
just sounds so gross.
For not being chocolate.
Yeah, the whole point was it's not supposed to be chocolate because there's M&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So where does the name Skittles come from?
Where does the name Skittles come from?
It comes from the term skedaddle.
Skedaddle? Get out of here, you throw your Skittles and they skedaddle away.
No, that's not what they're named after. There's a game known as Skittles.
Yeah.
And it's very popular in Britain, where these were made.
Yeah.
And I guess I should say the UK, because the whole UK seems to love playing this game. It's a pub game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a miniature form of bowling.
Which was bananas, because, like, we were watching
Banana berry.
Yes. We were watching Taskmaster, and they referred to bowling pins as Skittles, and I didn't even, like, think about it, because Brits call a bunch of crazy things a bunch of different crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
And now it makes sense. Now I understand.
Yep. It is where we get our game of bowling, 9-pin bowling.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be more distinct. Skittles, there's so many rules and variations of the game.
You were scrolling through the Wikipedia page of all the rules and stuff, and it just never ended.
Yeah, there was different rules and, like I said, regional variants. So there's also terms. They just came up with all these crazy terms.
Yeah, like rather than just say, oh, you knocked out the second to last pin, it's like, oh, you did a dippity flip do. And they had to give it a little title.
One of the ones is you want to knock down the front pin.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the very first pin. It's called king pin.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's typically how we play bowling out here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there's other ones where they're like, you hit the back corner. The back right corner. Hit that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was
almost as if a bunch of people were playing this game and they kept getting weird, like knocking down weird amounts of pins.
Yeah.
And they convinced each other, no, that's more points because this was more difficult to pull off. No. I want to win.
Well, one of the things is they don't always play with a round ball.
Yeah.
They have an oblong ball, almost.
Like a football, but rounded. I'm picturing like a big olive, basically.
Yeah, somewhere the size of a softball with the shape of a football. American football.
The size of a softball? That's weird.
Yeah, you hadn't seen them? The Skittles themselves, the actual pins, are not nearly as large as the ones we use.
But they have a way less exciting clunking sound when you knock them all over.
Well, you can play this game indoors. And you don't really need a bowling alley. They sometimes will go outside and play outside. Obviously for throwing objects.
Yeah.
Okay, now the cool things about Skittles. Skittles are commonly used to treat hypoglycemia.
Hypoglycemia?
Yep, which is low blood pressure for diabetes.
Okay.
So diabetics will slowly just nibble on a bag of Skittles.
Nice.
That'll help them balance out.
That sounds fun. What a lovely little treat for diabetic folk to get to enjoy.
Yeah. Skittles Taste the Rainbow is their theme, or their slogan.
Yeah.
They did not come up with this. They outsourced it to a New York ad agency.
A classic slogan, though.
It is classic. It's just kind of weird that they never thought of that one. It's not that hard to come up with.
I feel like the slogan making and jingle making is a process that is way overthought in corporations.
Yeah.
Like it's took months, 7 different people.
And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I remember a Super Bowl ad of Skittles that was incredibly sexual.
Yeah, a lot of Super Bowl ads get weirdly sexual.
Well, the thing was Taste the Rainbow.
Uh-huh.
And he was kind of... It's phallic.
Oh.
And the Skittles were coming out. And
weird.
falling on people. And it was weird.
They did have some pretty wacky but very memorable commercials. Like there was one with a giraffe. I don't even remember what the commercial did. But it was like something the rainbow, taste the rainbow. That was the thing.
Yeah, you something the rainbow, you taste the rainbow.
Well, because they had a series of ads, and the something was always something different. Like cheer the rainbow, taste the rainbow. And then like fax the rainbow, taste the rainbow. It was all weird random adjectives.
Okay. Skittles as of 2009 no longer use animal-derived gelatin.
Nice.
So they made them for... basically, vegans, vegetarians, and certain religious communities can enjoy Skittles now.
All right. I mean, I can't imagine any reason to use animal-based gelatin for anything, you know?
It's yum.
Is it? But, like, for candy?
Like marshmallows?
I don't know.
Have you ever had a vegan marshmallow?
I feel like I have. I had a vegan friend growing up, and, oh my god, when she made cookies, they were so good. They were the most delicious cookies. I don't know why. I always asked her if ever there was a thing. I was like, "Can you bring vegan cookies?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll bring vegan cookies."
Okay.
I don't know what it was. It was just really good.
In 2016, Skittles made an interesting choice.
Yeah.
It was Gay Pride Month.
Yep. LGBTQIA+. Woo.
Apparently what they did is they outsourced the production of these bags, the Skittle bags.
Yeah.
Where they got rid of the rainbow bag that we know they're in.
Yes.
And they decided to opt for an all-white bag.
Yeah, okay. When you hear their reasoning behind it, I see the idea they had. I understand what they were going for.
Now keep in mind, I said the words pride and white. Okay. According to Wrigley Company and their explanation for marketing, quote, "So this is kind of awkward, but we're just going to go ahead and address the rainbow-colored elephant in the room. You have the rainbow, we have the rainbow, and usually that's just hunky-dory. But this pride, only one rainbow deserves to be the center of attention, yours. And we're not going to be the ones to steal your rainbow thunder. No siree." End quote.
I understand the idea behind it, but it definitely seems like intentionally withdrawing the rainbow out of protest.
Yeah.
To not want to be even accidentally associated with during Pride Month.
I feel like you should have gone more colorful.
Yeah, even
Wouldn't you make rainbow-colored Skittles?
Even if they did nothing, that would still be enough because it's all already rainbow colored.
Yeah. So, yeah, they made some apologies and there was some controversy over this white Skittles bag.
Yeah. Didn't M&M do a similar thing at one point in time?
Well, M&Ms come in all colors. You can customize M&M.
Yeah, I like the pastel ones. The like Easter M&Ms, the like soft baby pink and green and blue and whatever.
Yep.
I like those ones. I think they look pretty.
Okay. So that was all I have to say about Skittles.
A fun crunch time. I like crunch time. I'm liking it a lot. I'm #1 crunch time fan.
That was our third one doing?
Yeah.
What was the first one I covered?
Jolly Rancher, wasn't it?
Oh, yep.
Yep.
This name kind of irritated me. Much like pineapples,
You had a whole rant.
grapefruits.
Oh my god. You had like an hour long.
You know what I found out about the pineapple?
What?
Apparently, Europeans way back then, when they were getting these, they weren't eating them.
What?
They were decorations.
Decorate? What happens when it rots and
You
dies?
throw it out.
Like flowers, I guess?
Well, yeah, because you know how if you're having like a stereotypical luau,
Oh god.
right?
Yeah.
And there's always the head of the pineapple at the top of something.
Yeah.
That's how they were using it.
That.
They weren't actually eating these things.
Jeez Louise.
Which-
all this, like.
All
pineapple-
that effort to dig them up, cut them out, put them on a boat, get them across the ocean, just to use a decoration.
Man. Just the wastes of capitalism.
So there was not much going on in the world this week as of entertainment
Yes.
due to the writer's strike.
Yep.
Um,
Which I've heard no updates about in the last few days.
me either. The gaming world has kind of just stopped working because of Zelda.
Yep. They all know not to compete with it.
It's a very long and old running franchise.
Yes. And this was a highly anticipated game
Yep.
for years.
Yep. Breath of the Wild is considered the greatest Zelda game ever made.
Yeah.
And Marvel just dominated the box office with a very good film, but depressing.
Yes. Yes.
And-
Again, another titan of another long-awaited sequel to a beloved franchise.
Yep.
So, those are the only... If you heard anything this week, those are the two things you heard about.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you were doing.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
I'm still playing Breath of the Wild, and I'm losing my patience really quickly with it.
Yeah, you tried fighting Water Blank Ganon this morning?
But hold on, DLC version. So
Yeah.
he's in the memories, and they didn't explain anything to me. I just had to solve it, and by the time I solved it, I died, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this.
Yeah, I don't...
This is not as fun as the original Zeldas were.
It's-
Dungeon crawlers.
It's not Zelda. It feels more like Minecraft. Like
This
like
one,
Happy Wheels Zelda.
I would say Breath of the Wild is Skyrim.
Sure.
And it seems like Tears of the Kingdom is Minecraft.
Like I'm just like and I know I don't have to do these things, but like I see footage of people with like basically rockets flying around
Yeah.
on their like makeshift fused together rocket things as they fly around the whole map, and I'm like, I don't want that. I want Zelda. And I know I don't have to build that if I don't want to.
They made the map even bigger, which the map's already stupidly big.
And I hate giant maps in video games.
Mm-hmm.
God.
I never beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla because of how large it was.
It's just like, and the worst thing is, and when it's huge, it's so empty feeling too. Like the moment you have to have like a teleportation element to it to
Yeah.
teleport across the map, you know your map is too big. They did that with Twilight Princess because running across Hyrule was not fun. There's not enough interesting things. I was thinking about like Ocarina of Time, for example.
Can he teleport in though?
No, he can't.
I don't think they had the technology yet.
But also, the map was very small. It took no time to get across Hyrule.
Hyrule Field was very small.
It was.
It was just like you turn and take a few steps and all of a sudden you're back in the forest.
And like, there was, I think, 5 different directions you could go.
Yep.
Which would lead you to one of the important kingdom areas, like the Zoras or the Gerudos, etc., etc. And in the middle was Lone Land Ranch. And then everything beyond that, there was like Pose to collect. There was the Running Man side quest.
God, there are no Poes in this game.
That's so weird.
They're not in Breath of the Wild either.
I would have expected, like, especially with Tears of the Kingdom, to introduce some of the ones like Tektites and Poes and things we didn't have before.
The dog farted.
Is that what that noise was? Oh no.
He's right under me, too.
Man, sorry.
Damn animals. Okay. Go on about Zelda.
Oh man, I don't know. It just doesn't, like, if there's nothing that makes me want to run across the whole map, then why is it that big? Oh, what I'll find a horde of bokoblins so I can kill my 5,000th bokoblin and get my 9 millionth bokoblin guts to put into my pocket of all the other stupid crafting shit I don't want because I don't like crafting.
I noticed, when I'm playing Breath of the Wild, I'm not crafting that stuff. I'm not mixing the monster parts together. Every time I try, I fail, and I'm like, let me just craft the fruits and the meats together. Mm-hmm. And that's all I need.
There's like a whole thing about potions you can make. That's what the weird shit's supposed to be for. Never once have I ever given a fuck about crafting a potion or an elixir.
The thing is, I'll just eat something that'll give me that, or I change my outfit.
Yeah, like you can go to the Gerudo and get like earrings that will do that for you.
Yeah.
So I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it, and Tears of the Kingdom just looks like more of what I don't like. Like I know, like everyone keeps being like the tutorial is so long, and I hate long tutorials. I hate it. That alone makes me not want to play it.
Yeah,
You looking at the dog, thinking about the fart?
Yeah.
Think about how such a big smell could come from such a small body.
It's the little guy, too. You can go in the sky. There's got Sky Islands. I haven't heard anything about Skyloft.
No.
And I was like, cool.
It's like, okay, so the idea of a Sky Island sounds cool, but then I'm like, what happens? You're just, there's another section to run around, rummage crap that I don't want for crafting needs I don't want to do, and then you just find your next 1000 Sky Island. It just sounds like the same thing, but now upward and harder to get to.
There are now underground caverns known as dungeons, where you go in to find certain materials to build.
It's all just...
Mostly for mechanical use.
I don't...
Because you get it, because you'd ore the earth to get it.
Is there still shrines?
Yes, there are shrines.
Okay.
There's an ungodly amount of shrines.
Of course.
People are still struggling to find them.
Is there divine beasts? Is that what the plot is?
I don't know what the plot is. I'm walking away from the plot.
I might just look it up because...
Don't spoil it.
At this point...
I'm going to play this game in 5 years.
I won't spoil it for you, but I need spoilers at this point because it's not... I have no interest, and that's super upsetting to me.
Yeah.
I waited 5 years for a Zelda game, and I got a worse version of one I've already played.
I was really hoping they were going to go more in a hybrid direction of Ocarina and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I was hoping just for more story, also. I don't, like...
Here's another exhausting moment of this. Just like every traditional Zelda game, you start out with 3 hearts, no Master Sword, no weapons. You're just completely down, right?
You've reset for no good reason.
You reset. You still have your Master Sword, which apparently is covered in something.
Of course.
Right? So it doesn't really work.
Of course.
Link loses, all his abilities and ends up getting new ones, which is his arm now. And the only thing that transfers over is your horses from your last save file in Breath of the Wild.
That's it?
That's it. And you have to go to a very particular stable, and you need a horse to get there.
That's so lame.
In order to open up the stable, and then you can go in and get all your others.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, that's just like...
I don't know. That just sounds... Oh, God.
And why would you need your horse if you can make cars?
Yeah, like... it just upsets me.
Okay, moving on. Y'all remember Johnny Bravo?
I remember Johnny Bravo. I loved Johnny Bravo. I thought he was hilarious.
He was really funny.
I think they could do Johnny Bravo again. But you have to do it different. the
Sexual harassment?
Yeah, a lot of it.
I was reading this. At the time of Johnny Bravo, it was regarded as a really good show.
Mm-hmm. I saw a clip from Johnny Bravo somewhat recently, and it actually made me laugh because I wasn't expecting it. So he's standing there at a museum, surrounded by women, and there's this beautiful woman curator, and she's talking, and she's like, in something, 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 they made it so now women were allowed to vote. And Johnny Bravo just goes, why the hell would they do that?
Did he actually say hell?
I think it was, why would they want to do that? But I was just like, Johnny, you can't say that.
Well, he had a spin-off show called JBVO. Mm-hmm. And they unearthed a lost episode.
Yeah.
Where this is like a talk show, and Johnny Bravo would sit on a set. Mind you, he's a cartoon, but they would draw him into the set.
Very, very space ghost coast to coast.
Yes, they were inspired by that in late night shows.
If anyone knows what that is, I don't know how popular Space Ghost Coast to Coast was.
It's a cult following.
Yeah, definitely. Because no one watched Space Ghost, the original cartoon.
People like our parents did.
I guess so. There was Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, was another one.
Yeah, that one's weird.
That one is weird.
Which they all have that weird style of Johnny Quest.
A little bit, yes.
And Johnny Quest was always a weird show to me. Kind of fun. It was like, it could have been something bigger. Like Indiana Jones, but family.
Yes. I don't know. I felt like every episode Johnny Quest was jumping the shark, and there was no baseline for the shark should be jumping. It was just always.
Well, yeah. What is it? Venture Bros? It's very Johnny Quest. Mm-hmm. Just not as violent. And yeah, it's just not over the top like that.
Venture Bros is an adult cartoon, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very old, too.
Weird.
These were all actually, besides Venture Bros, were all made by Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo is a Hanna-Barbera product. Thought that was strange. So anyways, JBVO, it's a talk show, and in this episode that they lost, he would do something where a caller would call in and ask to watch something, and then he would give his opinions on it. Mm-hmm. Right? And the only exception was half-hour shows.
Okay.
For some reason, they just didn't want to do that. And this caller called in and said they wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z, the episode where Goku kills Frieza.
Nice. Good choice.
And Johnny puts it on, but because of the half hour, he just hits fast forward and quickly talks about the episode.
Nice.
And then he, feels bad about it, which I thought was weird.
He feels bad about it?
Yeah, because someone requested it and he couldn't show them the whole thing. He had to skip forward. Mm-hmm. That episode was lost, and they just unearthed it.
Yay!
You can watch it online now.
Cool!
But the weird thing to me was going back and seeing JBVO, because I remember seeing it before as a kid, but never thinking much about it.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird things where it's like, you remember you used to watch this show, but you completely forgot about it, and then you see it again, and you're like, oh, I have, memories and emotions tied to this thing.
Yeah, there was this, and I think Cartoon Network, and I think the Disney Channel did this a lot too, where during their commercials, sometimes they would just play segments of shows, basically.
Yep.
And in my mind, I was just like, oh, this is just another commercial, I guess. And you grow up and you learn, no, that was basically, it was a commercial, but it was basically just showing you a whole mini section of a show between your shows, so you would watch this one as well.
Yep.
Weird.
The thing about Disney, and then eventually when Warner Brothers took over Cartoon Network from Time Warner, was they didn't want to show commercials like car ads and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So they made their own commercials.
Yeah.
And Johnny Bravo, during this show, he would actually show up in his own commercials.
Nice.
Or he would be...
like running around talking to people?
kind of like antagonizing them, very Deadpool-esque.
Yeah. I remember Cartoon Network did this really cool thing where they would just like show all. It was basically treating Cartoon Network like it was a real office space and all the cartoon characters were working there.
So...
And those were the best commercials.
So that is after... This show JBVO only goes on for one season.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is the span of a year, because that's how long seasons used to be. Mm-hmm. And then instead of like 2 months of actual footage. It's so annoying how small shows have gotten.
Yeah.
They did another reboot of it, but without Johnny Bravo.
Uh-huh.
Like, one of the things I saw was Godzilla reading out the weather.
Nice. Good combo.
I was like, okay, kind of weird. But yeah, that was fun to see. That apparently people are actively going out there trying to find these things.
Yeah, Lost Media and Lost Media Hunters fascinate me. Mm-hmm. I watched like a whole hour and a half long documentary about finding lost media for like, it was like a Jimmy Neutron's first ever footage, like test pilot footage, where it looks completely different and shit.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Love that stuff.
And he looked ugly, and he wasn't as shiny or rounded.
Yeah, and Goddard looked wrong. Goddard was there. His dog.
Oh.
His robot dog. And he just did not look right.
Yeah.
Something was just weird about it.
Also, Shane wasn't in it?
I don't think either. I think it was just Jimmy.
Just Jimmy by
Just
himself.
flying around in space in a rocket ship.
Okay. So we haven't heard anything much about the writer's strike. I hope it's all going good. Mm-hmm. One of the things that happened about the writer's strike is James Gunn, who directed Guardians.
Yep. Wrote and directed.
Yep. He is a writer. Went off to go support the writer's strike.
Yay! Lots of cool people are supporting the writer's strike.
Yep. And he said that he's putting Superman Legacy on the back burner until this strike is done.
Good.
Which I was like, cool, that is the correct way to do this. That is, what?
That's what strikes are for.
Honorable?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, because he said that, all of a sudden, I'm reading these rumors about casting for Superman Legacy.
Which I don't think is true. Because if they're rumors, I bet it's just people's predictions, or...
well...
And it's getting misconstrued as casting rumors.
The article I was reading was blaming Deadline, which they do a lot of... That website right there?
Yeah.
Deadline.
Uh-huh.
If you wanted to learn about what's going on in Hollywood and all the... what are they called? The unions and all that stuff. The award ceremonies.
Deadline is the place to go?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so they were sourcing Deadline as the ones who are talking about this.
Well, is casting related to writing? You can cast someone way before it's finished being written.
But why would you cast anyone if your director and writer isn't there?
I don't know. They're trying to do a lot of weird strike-busting techniques. So this might be one of them. To be like, hey, we got the guy. If you don't start writing the script, you're, like, wasting our time and money. You gotta get on top of that as soon as possible. Maybe that's what they're doing?
Maybe.
I don't know.
But I wanted to talk about, really, how this doesn't make any sense to me. If your head honcho's not there. El Jefe. And... one of the runner-ups, who's pretty high on this list, and Gunn has talked about it, and I know what they're looking for. They want someone in their 20s. They want a younger Superman. Mm-hmm. They want to take this back to Smallville.
Yeah, of course they do.
They want Lex Luthor to be the villain, which his role is titled as Apex.
Okay.
Which, at some point, there's an Apex Lex Luthor.
Sure. Whatever.
But Nicholas Hoult of X-Men.
He was in Renfield recently.
Yep, Warm Bodies.
I always forget about Warm Bodies.
The Menu.
Yep. Tolkien.
Yep. So he is up for the role, supposedly.
So, like
but he's a little too old.
I guess
for what they want.
Yeah, he is old, isn't he?
So they were like, maybe Lex Luthor, but then there was rumors that Gunn is actually waiting to go out and talk to other actors that he's worked with, more A-lister kind of guys, to see if they will come up and play Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I feel like someone just threw out the name of... You said it, and I already forgot it. What is the actor's name?
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult. I feel like someone threw out Nicholas Hoult because, yeah, at a glance, he looks like he could be Superman with the tall, dark hair, things like that.
He would have to beef up so much.
And somewhere, yes, he is a twig of a man.
Yeah.
And somewhere that got misconstrued as like a casting room or somewhere. I don't think that's accurate at all.
Yeah, no. If the thing about Nicholas Hoult is he did not get the role of the Batman.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
What a surprise.
I would have hated that movie if it was him.
Yes. I don't think we would have watched it. I'm sure we would have watched it.
I would have watched
it.
But I can't imagine anyone else doing the role of the Batman.
It would have been a very different Batman. It wouldn't have been this moody, broody, like, pain-riddled Batman. It would be very different. Very pompous. I don't know, I just picture... He's in, like, Bridgerton or some shit. Nicholas Hoult.
Hoult.
Yeah, he's in one of those ones, like, the Queen's...
I thought he was in the Russian one.
I don't remember. There's so many.
It's weird that they all just popped up at the same time. They're like, I need to compete with Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
But now The Crown has shown up, so let's do The Royals, Bridgerton.
There's one with Cleopatra now.
Yeah.
And whatever. Okay, sure. Royal politics, female-centric genre.
Yep.
I guess.
What's coming out this week is The Fast and the Furious 10, simply titled X.
Man.
And Lego 2K Drive, which is a Lego driving game.
So, a Lego driving game on paper makes sense to me, but it just makes me think of Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts.
Do you remember when everyone tried to make a driving game to compete with Mario Kart?
Yeah. Wait, there was a Lego driving game.
There was one before, Lego Drive.
Yeah, but you couldn't even customize, like, the Legos of your car.
If I remember correctly, it was, like, on a CD-ROM.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago.
I can't even play that on my computer.
I don't think anyone would want to.
I would have to go out and get a separate piece of equipment for it. Yeah, and now it just seems like we've got all these driving games showing up again. And they're all trying to be Gran Turismo. Which will be a live-action movie very soon.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sure. It makes more sense as a movie than a video game to me. I've never liked racing games. Like regular car racing games.
Oh, yeah.
Mario Kart racing games, like, 100%, yes. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of, like, whatever, Gran Turismo or Mazda or whatever they were all called.
Yeah.
I had several growing up. They were all boring. I thought they were all stupid.
I played the Hot Wheels driving game.
Yeah, that sounds cool. At least you get to jump over, like, fire and do spins and stuff.
You're basically in little Hot Wheel courses in, like, someone's living room.
Yeah.
So you get to do all that stuff, but it was just another driving game.
Damn, that sucks.
I was like, if Lego, you get to build your own stuff, maybe, but I don't know. It's weird. I'm just seeing a lot of driving games coming back.
Weird. Whatever.
So, okay, it's box office trolls.
The box office trolls. Unsurprisingly, number one, it's Guardians.
The Guardians of the Galaxy. Domestically making $214 million.
That's a lot of money. I don't think Fast X is going to come anywhere close to that.
I think everyone who wanted to see the Guardians already saw it.
Yes.
It's already gone down 47.6%.
It's been a good month for... Wait, is Vin Diesel in Fast X?
Yeah, he's the main guy.
Good month for Vin Diesel.
Also, it's been pretty nice to Chris Pratt.
I guess so, true. I was thinking...
He just went from Mario to Guardians.
Oh,
and now
yeah, huh?
Vin Diesel goes from Guardians to Fast.
Nice. Yay.
Number 2, the Super Mario Brother movie. Still holding strong.
6 weeks in.
Yeah.
Still dominating.
Book Club, The Next Chapter.
Yeah.
This is a old woman's movie.
Like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but...
For Meryl Streep fans.
Yeah, middle-aged.
It's about how they go to Europe with their book club because it's the dream vacation of their lives. Did I not accurately describe that?
You did it. Yep, you sure did.
Number 4, Evil Dead Rise.
Nice.
Which is supposed to be really good.
Nice.
It's just a weird time to release a Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
And this one was not supposed to be in theaters. It was supposed to be on HBO Max.
So what made it go to theaters?
Warner Brothers was hemorrhaging hard.
Oh. They're like, do something. Make money.
Yeah. They're probably the ones forcing this casting thing for Superman.
That's
not
true.
realizing that they're actually fucking up the project.
Warner Brothers is, in fact, bad.
And, yeah, when they saw that, like, the test audience really enjoyed it, they're like, let's throw it in theaters.
No, it seems to be working.
It was so worthy of $60 million. Number 5, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Yeah, I did. I did finally look it up.
And I was right. It's Judy Blume.
Yes, it is. It is that author, I believe. Not the same, like, universe as most of her other stories.
Did anyone find out if I was right about Choco Kitty?
I don't think so.
Okay, number 6, Hypnotic.
Which we don't know what this is.
Yeah.
It's from Ketchup Entertainment.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk away from that. Number 7, John Wick Chapter 4.
8 weeks in box office.
Not bad. Number 8, Love Again.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch this one.
Okay. We've talked about it extensively here on this podcast. It's not even made $5 million in the 2 weeks it's been out.
Oof.
It's made by Screen Gems,
Yeah.
who make notoriously horrible decisions like live-action Resident Evils.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
So, I do want to see it too, because I think it'd be a fun little crash course.
It'd be so bad. Oh, man.
It's got, like, you can remake it into a horror movie really quickly.
Yes. Doesn't matter how much Celine Dion you paint over top of it. It's creepy.
It's a really disturbing idea. Number 9, Air.
Okay.
Story of Air Jordans. And number 10, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which is available today on Paramount Plus streaming.
Yeah.
So you can go watch that. You never saw it. It is fun. It is a fun adventure. You don't have to put in too much thought.
No, if you don't even need to know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm going to be honest, it doesn't really feel like much of a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
The way I would describe this one is classic superhero movies.
Yes.
This is it. You know the guy, you see that there's tragedy, you know he has a journey before him, he gets a ragtag team and goes to fight the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's the story. That's it.
They don't make really any references to the game of Dungeons and Dragons. If you want that, watch Vox Machina instead.
They talk about a different race, a higher race of beings.
Yeah, like, that's at most they'll reference.
You do see them.
Yeah.
But, again, it's just to move the plot forward.
Yeah. It's rather than calling them bird folk, they get to call them Aarakocra, which is the name Dungeons and Dragons have given them. So.
Okay. There is another movie that it did not make the top 10. It was, number 12?
Something like that?
And it's called The Warriors of the Zodiac?
Yeah. Weird, like, not indie, but it didn't have a distributor, you know? Under the category of distribution, it just said not available. So, so for being that, and making it even close to the top 10, that's not too bad. That's kind of impressive.
Wow, I can't even find it. Oh, it's Knights, that's why.
Knights of the Zodiac. We mentioned it last week. It's based on an anime, like a classic anime.
Yes, this movie has tanked
hard.
Ooh,
I saw the 29% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I saw the poster for it at the theater.
What a weird cast.
I know.
Sean Bean,
and I can never pronounce her name, but that's the original Jean Grey.
What the hell?
This movie is based on an old anime, and it looks horrible.
Yes.
It looks like a weird Chinese knockoff.
It does. I thought it was. That's why I was confused when I saw Sean Bean.
Yeah. If I saw Ice Fantasy like this, I'd be like, that's the coolest upgrade I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But for something that should have been animated, why?
You know what? It feels like that old Dragon Ball live action movie.
Okay, we're done talking. I hope you guys enjoyed Coffee Break. Dragon Ball Evolution is always brought up when it comes to the worst adaptations ever.
They make so many confusingly bad choices. Like how, ignoring the fact he's a white guy, which is bad from the get-go, he goes to high school?
I don't know what to tell you.
That's supposed to be Piccolo? Piccolo has like...
Piccolo was the best and most well-done character in that movie.
He didn't look like Piccolo.
The actor who played Piccolo, I remember this. He was pissed about how that movie came out.
I bet.
He loves Piccolo. And when he got the chance to play him, he was like, I'm excited. And put in all his energy and effort. And they still struggled with that. But, you want to do a little talk about Guardians? Just a little one?
Yeah, sure. So, spoilers from here on out.
Yep. So that was the end of Coffee Break. If you want to hear about Guardians Volume 3, we're going to talk a little bit about it. Other than that, I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. You learned some cool facts about Skittles. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Skittles was enough information.
Yeah.
To kind of fill in this week, because I was like, I'm tired of BSing my way through some of these things.
There's just nothing happening.
I know.
We gotta just get better at talking.
I talked about an episode that came out in 2001, and we just found it. Like, that's the treasure.
It's a slow week in the media world.
Yes.
Which we expected with the writer strike happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, spoilers from here on out with Guardian stuff.
Beginning with Guardians 2, Volume 2,
Mm-hmm.
sorry. Our Guardians are fighting those big monsters. The ones with all the teeth and the tentacles.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called. But they want those batteries.
Yeah. Harbulary batteries.
Yeah, it's not what I said.
Annulax batteries. Harbulary batteries.
And they get these batteries back. Well, I think they're there to kill the monster.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the Golden People.
Mm-hmm.
And their queen, Alicia.
Something like that. Alicia
or something.
Something.
And then she finds out that they stole the batteries. So they go in and hunt them down.
Yeah.
And the Guardians thwart their attack and get away.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everything about that has to do with the beginning of Guardians 3.
Yes.
And even weirdly enough, that race of golden people were created also by the guy who created Rocket.
Yeah.
The High Evolutionary.
It was very smartly tied together.
I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. That 2 is way more important than you thought. Because all that ego stuff doesn't really have much to do with 3.
Other than meeting Mantis, getting Mantis on the team.
Yeah, so Mantis and Star-Lord are siblings, half-siblings, which is explained to you in not Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
No, or like they mention it in 3.
They mention it in 3, but it's brought up in the holiday special.
Which is very cute. The more I think about it, I'm like, that was a cute holiday special. I appreciated it.
Mm-hmm. There's new members of the team?
Yeah.
Or at least there's one new member at the beginning.
So we were talking about this morning, where we have no idea where
Cosmo came from.
Like, she's just suddenly here now.
I remember seeing the dog, and I remember perhaps the Collector had her.
Perhaps.
Maybe she's in one of those cases. And it doesn't Howard the Duck talk to someone?
Yeah, maybe she was with Howard the Duck.
I don't remember her talking.
I don't think so either.
Nothing about telekinesis.
No, her first real appearance is in the holiday special, where she's there, and I think she has a line of dialogue. And also, Nowhere is now a city that everyone's living in inside the head of the dead god.
It's always been a city. Yes, when you see it in one, it's a city. They live inside this skull of a dead god, right?
Okay.
But the weird thing that they did is in Infinity War, and we went back to watch this recently. Mm-hmm. Infinity War, really good. I actually like it. It's aged very well.
It has. I think I like it better than Endgame.
I've seen Endgame. That was like my 30th time. So I didn't cry. And I was like, sweet, I broke the curse.
Nice.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 gave me some issues. And I could see why people are not going back to rewatch that one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot to handle.
I would rewatch it.
Yeah, but not a week after.
No, I would have to be in the right mindset to rewatch it.
The amount of animal cruelty in there.
Yes.
And I get it. That's the point. The High Evolutionary is a horrible, horrible villain.
Yeah.
There's been discussions about how he is the most unforgivable villain the MCU has ever shown us.
Yeah. Great villain, though.
Yeah. No, he's truly evil to the bone.
I love the line of, she's like, she like someone mentions God, and he turns around and yells, "There is no God. That's why I stepped in." I'm like, damn.
Yep.
Damn.
Very pompous.
Yeah. Great performance from Chuck. 10 out of 10.
Yep. Everyone did great.
Mm-hmm.
Good acting. The movie goes on way too long.
It is rather long.
The sequences with the kids inside the High Evolutionary ship, and it's Nebula, Drax, and Mantis.
Mm-hmm.
They just start yelling at each other.
It was a little too long. I feel like Kraglin's whole character arc, completely unnecessary.
Very unnecessary. He should have mastered that arrow long before this movie began.
Yeah.
And for us to have that scene, I was like, cool. I love seeing Yondu.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute to see him again.
But, like, I don't...
Yeah, and really what you see is actually that big guy that was coming after Kraglin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Cosmo who just squished him.
Yeah. Kraglin. I don't, like, even if Kraglin did dust away for 5 years, there was still plenty of time where he could have been figuring out how to whistle with the... I wish instead he would have, in this movie, figured out a way to make it his own, rather than just copying what Yondu does.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Nowhere, which he seems to be the leader of them for that moment.
I'm more like I got the idea like he's like a deputy. Like someone in charge, but not the person in charge.
Yeah, he stays on Nowhere while the Guardians go off. But they have weaponized Nowhere. Mm-hmm. Which was not in either movie that Nowhere shows up in. Its eye is a cannon that only has one round.
They see a lot of things have changed, but like I never questioned it. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, okay, yeah, sure, this makes sense. Yep. I would see that they would do this.
What else is weird about that movie? I'll tell you what. One of my favorite scenes is when Groot and Star-Lord enter the main area where all the scientists in the High Evolutionary are. Mm-hmm. And Peter just says, kill them. And, whoof.
Yeah.
That's not a thing heroes say.
No.
And when they capture that scientist, if you look, he's purposely slamming him into the surface of that planet to kill him.
Probably Chris Pratt's best performance.
Oh, he got really angry in that movie.
Yeah.
When you see him in the trailer and he's screaming in pain because Rocket's dying, like, that's just pure, raw man emotion. Mm-hmm. That's just, it's sad. Great.
Fantastic. But yeah, too long, I would say.
Yeah.
Some parts, especially like when they are inside like a satellite made out of flesh to get like basically a thumb drive, a space thumb drive in essence.
Yeah, it's Drax and Mantis who they're doing nothing.
That sucks because they're always the ones doing nothing. While Star-Lord and Gamora and Nebula are off doing like the real plot stuff. Our comic relief duo are stuck filling screen time.
Also, almost dying in that fight. They almost didn't make it out of there.
There was a couple of times where I'm like, are they going to die?
Yeah.
I was amazed that no one did. I thought for sure one of the Guardians was going to die.
Yeah, not a single one of them died.
No, which is crazy. Which is nice. In an already emotionally turbulent movie, not stapling a death at the end was very appreciated.
Yeah. And at the end, the Guardians disband, except for Rocket rebuilds it.
Mm-hmm.
And his team, I would like to see them in the future. Yeah. I think we will.
I want more Adam Warlock. I really liked him.
Yep. Adam Warlock was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love how stupid he is.
Yes.
Stupid yet charming.
Earnest.
Mm-hmm.
Honest.
When he, incinerates that one guy, and then the guy's pet, Slarp.
Is that what it's
or
called?
Blarp, voiced by D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah.
It is, sad. Warlock's just looking at him, and he's like, it's making me uncomfortable. Can I leave?
I don't like this. And then he takes the pet, and he just carries it with him everywhere.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Groot.
Yeah.
Groot had some cool moments.
This is probably the best Groot's been. And Groot's been very cool throughout all of them.
Mm-hmm. I love how big he got at the end.
They call him Swole Groot.
Why?
I don't know. Why not?
They come up with the weirdest names for them. Like Brothor.
Yeah. I liked Brothor.
Yeah, he's a mess.
I will say, we started watching Love and Thunder.
I'm not that interested in it.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It's just like...
It's a story of Thor, but it has very inconsequential effects on the rest of the MCU.
It's a little too goofy, I feel like. Oh, there's a baby sleeping.
Wake up the baby before he farts.
It's a little too goofy. And, I appreciate good, lighthearted movies and stuff. But I don't know. Especially hot off the heels of seeing how Guardians is still funny, but also has an emotional impact. Seeing Thor, it was just like, yeah, you're funny. And there's emotion here, but it's not as balanced as I think it could be.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna be honest, I think Korg has gotten way less funny over the years. Taika Waititi's character?
Oh, yeah.
The big rock guy?
Well, that's because whenever he plays a character, he's always... If he's not the main character, or, a very important character, he'll play these weird secondary characters, and they're all the same.
Yeah, they are. And it's just him kind of just riffing, babbling.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care.
Which, it's not fair to say to him as an actor, because when he does play the main character, he's a very charismatic person.
Yeah, if he's playing an important character, like when he was Hitler in Jojo Rabbit.
The greatest Hitler this world has ever known.
Blackbeard.
It's not like it was a competition, though.
True. When he's Blackbeard in fucking
Our Flag Means Death.
Fantastic. When he's the one guy from What We Do in the Shadows.
The original.
Yeah.
But when he comes back to reprise that role for the American version, he's back to being that side character that just riffs.
He's just always the same. See, yeah, I like Taika Waititi, but I don't know. It's hard. It's a weird one to follow up with.
Yep. So, that was it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast.
Go eat some Skittles.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.